Hey there, everybody. PTPOP here, leading you out of the rabbit hole, one grain of truth at a time. Welcome back to Call Center Survivor. I've been away for a while, kind of reorganizing my channel and getting things prioritized, my friends. Today I've got a good one for you. Today I'm going to be talking about why companies are switching to AI-powered call centers. So buckle up, my friends. Buckle up. We're going to get into some really interesting stuff here. Before I get to that, let me ask you to punch the like button and the subscribe button. Make this channel your only channel. So let's jump right into it here, people. So those of you who watch me and have been watching me for a while know I talk about call centers and working in call centers and the horrors, in my opinion, of what it is to work in a call center. And it is a very rugged, hard, turbulent, hostile environment. And companies' number one priority is not the customer. The number one priority for any company is to make a profit. And the best way they can make a profit is to convince the general public to buy whatever crap they're selling. And once they bought that product, they have to deal with the whiny, bitching customer who is constantly on their ass, trying to ask them why it's broken or it doesn't work the way it was supposed to, or why there's lint in the box or whatever, right? So for years, corporations have struggled with having call centers to handle all the inbound customer concerns, questions, billing concerns, things like that. And they've had to figure out some way to do it. So years ago, they came up with call centers, inbound call centers, where people will call a toll-free number and you would get some happy representative on the phone who would try to answer all the questions they had about that company's product. Well, over the years, companies begrudgingly will put these call centers together, but it costs them millions and millions of dollars to run a call center. So the corporate people, the C-suite people, so these men, predominantly men that are in the C-suite people, can have a leather mistress on a tropical island somewhere. They're trying to figure out ways to cut corners and to save money. And one way is by getting rid of call centers, consolidating them. And originally, the one way they started to get rid of call centers here in the States was to offshore them to Pakistan and India and Vietnam and places like that, because they're paying those people in those countries pennies on the dollar to pay them. So some of these people are making 1970s, 1980s wages, like $7 an hour, maybe $5 an hour to take call center jobs. And that's a lot of money in Pakistan or in Indonesia and places like that. People are living very well off of what these companies are paying them over there. But here, they're not paying a living wage. And it costs them millions and millions of dollars here in healthcare and in infrastructure to have a call center. So to save the company millions, sometimes billions of dollars, so they don't have to build a physical call center, so they don't have to pay for healthcare, so they don't have to do any of that stuff. They offshore it to companies outside the U.S., but they're still paying millions of dollars for the companies in Indonesia and Pakistan and India and all those places to take the calls. So fast forward to 2020 or thereabouts, in steps in this wonderful magical thing called AI. Artificial intelligence has taken over the scene, and companies are switching to AI-powered call centers for several key reasons, most of which boil down to cost savings. Plain and simple. It's not the customer's always right. It's not make sure the customer's taken care of in a friendly, professional way. It's about how can we save the owners of this company money so they can go have their parties on Epstein Island or wherever they're going for their fun times on their Learjet and their yachts and things like that. And you think I'm being facetious. I'm not. These men, predominantly men, are dirtbags. Now, I don't know if female C-suite people are dirtbags. I've known a few, but I didn't know them that well. But I can tell you that most of the men I've worked with at the C-suite level, I haven't worked with them directly, but most of them end up, in the headlines, things like that. There's men I've worked with at the lower levels in the trenches like I've been in. They're dirtbags too. Most men are dirtbags, myself included. You think with the wrong brain. So the number one reason that corporations are switching to going from offshoring here in the United States to AI-powered call centers is cost reduction. Labor is expensive. AI agents don't need salaries. They don't need benefits. They don't need breaks or paid time off. They don't bitch. They don't whine. They don't complain. They don't call in sick. They don't get pregnant. They're electronic. And when you're dealing with these companies that have millions of customers, scalability is really important. So being able to scale your call center and adapt it and shape it into what you need in a very inexpensive way is very important. So scalability is cheap with AI. One AI bot can handle hundreds of calls or chats at once, something no human team could manage. You need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of employees to handle calls, hundreds of calls at once. As I said before, offshoring and outsourcing is old news. That's 20th century garbage. AI eliminates the need to pay outsourced teams in other countries, and you just replace them with bots. So it's not just us in America that's losing our jobs in call centers. It's the fine people that we get mad at on the phone that have the Indian accent and we're like, hey, we want to speak to somebody that's American. Somebody that chews skull like I do and smokes Marlboro Reds and drinks Bud Light. You know, we get mad at these people. But America, good old boy America, good at raping and pillaging the earth, is now finding ways to put these people out of work too. The people in Vietnam, Indonesia, Pakistan, India, you name it. They're being replaced because it's cheaper and it's more efficient. The second biggest reason that they're using AI is efficiency and speed. Think about it. You come in, you've had a long weekend, you're hungover, you just went to the Cleveland Browns game, they got beat by the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got wasted in the parking lot, and the cops kicked you to the curb, and you've got a huge hangover, and you don't want to go to work, but you still come in, but you don't have the efficiency and the speed that you would have on a Friday, before you'd gone to the game and got sloshed on tequila and brain stompers. AI doesn't get tired. It doesn't make typos and responds instantly. You can't beat that, man. It can access. I speak good. I went to high university. Yeah. It can access databases, log tickets, and pull customer history faster than any human rep ever be able to, flawlessly. They don't, they're not sitting there gossiping with their partner next to them. They're not sitting there fantasizing about the girl across the hall that has fishnet stockings on and thigh-high boots. And they do dress like that in call centers. In case you have those kind of fetishes, I've seen it. Calls and chats are shorter and more scripted, reducing the need for supervisors or escalation. So AI is not only reducing the number of reps on the floor, it's getting rid of call center supervisors. So they're able to scale back supervisors and team leads because there's no escalation. Their customer calls in, their questions are answered, they hang up on to the next call. And there's one bot handling hundreds of people at the same time. The number 3 reason that companies are switching to AI-powered call centers, availability, 24/7 availability. Now, I cannot be on call 24/7. I worked at a company named WorldCom back in the in 1999, 2000, 2001. I'm having trouble talking today. Maybe I need some more coffee here. Almost gone, man. Need me some Java. But I had a pager, and I was on call once a weekend, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I carried a pager with me, and it would go off anytime somebody's frame relay circuits were bouncing. And it basically meant their computers are frozen. That's how it was explained to me. But bouncing, I believe, is where there's a high flux and bandwidth, and it gets all gobbledygooked in the frame relay network, and the computers freeze up. And but AI runs all day, all night, including weekends and holidays. No night shift premiums, no sick calls, no Christmas vacations, no Hanukkah, no Ramadan, nothing. It works and it works and it works and it doesn't sweat, doesn't bitch, doesn't bleed, doesn't whine, doesn't crap, doesn't have babies. No maternity leave for the AI bots that have taken over the call centers. This appeals to global customers who expect support at all hours. Now, I called a couple of places recently. I got a medical thing going on here, and it says that they're available 24/7. But lately, when I go on and log into this healthcare company to provide some health supplies for me, medical supplies for me, their bots and even their chat isn't available. So they haven't upgraded. But I wrote to them and said, "What happened?" I said, "You were 24/7." They're like, "Oh no, we're not doing that anymore." So they're running into budget problem. The number 4 reason that companies are switching to AI-based call centers: data collection and surveillance. Surveillance is the key word here. AI watches everything you do. Everything we do here on the net is documented and filed in a server somewhere. And it's everything. It's the calls you make. It's where you go. If you have your phone with you and you're driving around, they know where you've been based off the triangulation of the call centers. They know what sites you've looked at. They know who you've talked to. They know what your emails say. They know your attitudes, your beliefs, your food, your sexuality. They know everything about you. But in a call center sense, AI systems log and analyze every word of every call or chat. And this provides management with real-time metrics, behavior insights, and trends. So this works with humans too. So if you have a human-based call center, AI is listening to everything. It's listening for flagrant language from customers. It's listening for flagrant language from your customer service reps. It's listening. It can tell if the rep disconnected the call in the middle of the call because you didn't want to talk to them anymore without giving notice you're hanging up. It can tell if you've unplugged the phone to get off the call. It can tell if you turned off the power switch under your computer. It can tell everything, every move you make. Now, humans, us folks here that are made of DNA and blood, sweat, and tears, we ask too many questions. AI just follows the script and sends the data upstairs. So all of the C-suite people at the top get reports that are fed to them from AI, telling them who are the most productive customer service reps, if you have live customer service reps, how many calls they take, the duration of the calls is done instantaneously. They don't have to sit there and wait for a Q&A specialist to tabulate all the information. It does it all for them, and they get a nice, neat little report, and it tells them who to keep, who to cut, who to praise, who to bitch slap. The number 5 reason that they're switching over is control and consistency. So when you have AI reading the scripts, when you have AI answering the phones, you have no rogue reps going off script, no bad attitude or messy PR moments. You don't have somebody going online saying, "Hey, I hate my freaking job. And come on, I want to lay in Morton. My supervisor sucks, man. And their products are really bogus, dude." And you don't have any of these things where you have to sit down and counsel somebody because they called a customer a pickle sucker. You don't have somebody coming in, like I said, hungover or getting high in their car or shooting smack in the bathroom. No rogue reps, no inebriation, nothing like that. AI says what it's told every time, no matter how rude or entitled the customer is. AI doesn't get offended. It's not human. You can sit there and call your AI bot a pickle sucker and say their mother smells of elderberries, and they're not going to get mad. It's not going to hang up on you. And if your average customer is pretty much as dumb as a box of rocks as they are, they're not going to know why the rep that they're speaking to isn't feeding into their anger and getting angry back at them. They're like, "Why aren't you getting mad at me, man? I'm calling you a pickle sucker, dude. Yeah, I want my bill reversed, man. I want credits, dude." Oh, thank you, sir. You keep that attitude with somebody like that, it usually makes them even angrier. And management has complete control over tone, branding, and messaging. So this is something they really push in all call centers. They always push tone. What is your tone with the customer? Your tone with that last call, Pete, wasn't very good. They were angry with you. You could tell you were getting frustrated. Your tone was non-professional. You didn't use the right branding. You didn't answer the phone by saying, "Hi, thank you for calling Command One and Lane Morton, where we'd like to suck golf balls through hoses. How can I help you today?" There's nothing like that. But you sometimes mess that up when you're human. But a bot will do it each and every time and get the appropriate messages out. There's no messing up with AI. The number 6 reason, AI is the latest corporate trend, and corporations are all about trends that will save them money. Companies want to be seen as innovative or future forward for investors, okay? They don't want to be seen as innovative by their customers. They're interested in the investors because the investors are the people that bring them the moolah, the people that make their stock go up and down, and they want to be seen as forward thinking, as people that are ahead of the other companies technologically, because technology runs everything now. Also, upgrades. When you do AI upgrades, it looks good to the financial world. So if you're forward thinking and you're hip to the new AI technological trends, AI upgrades equals stock bumps. Your stock goes up, creates a media buzz. And executive bonuses, ding, 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 means more leather mistresses, more Epstein Islands, more trips on their Learjet to get their jollies with a bunch of pickle suckers. But here's the catch, everybody. While companies gain in efficiency, they lose in humanity. Now, ask me if any of these companies care. I'll tell you they don't. They don't care about your humanity. They don't care that the homeless rate in this country is going up, or in other countries. They don't care if you get laid off. They don't care that you're about to have a baby or you were just diagnosed with cancer. They don't care. The C-suite people at the top got there for a reason. They have connections. They went to Harvard, or they're sociopathic psychopaths that don't give a crap whether you live, breathe, die, shit, or scream. Okay? AI can't empathize. Not yet, anyway. It can pretend to, but it's pretty poor from what I've heard. It can't handle nuances, okay? So if you call in with a weird question, like I used to get these weird questions all the time at Verizon, like every other call at Verizon were really bizarre. They weren't just questions like, "Hey, can I check the balance of my bill?" or "Hey, can you tell me about this new phone?" It was like, "Hey, I dropped my phone in a pile of bird doo, man. Like, the screen is cracked and there's like some bird doo in the screen crack. Like, how do I clean that, man? You know?" Like, I get these really freaking off-the-wall questions, like from these freaking psychos. And they weren't questions that you were prepared for. I still swear to this day, there was a group of weirdos that worked for Verizon that sat in the back office somewhere just calling into people's phones to ask them really bizarre questions. And AI can handle that. AI won't know what to do with it. It'll automatically send it to a live person. And AI definitely can't calm down an irate customer having a meltdown over a botched call, okay? It's not going to know what to do with it. It's going to probably end up default sending it to one of the live reps that's sitting on their couch somewhere taking calls at home, because very few people work in a call center now. Because why? Saving them millions of dollars by not having to provide the infrastructure. They send you a laptop and a headset. You've got to provide the data connection. But the suits, the C-suite people, the suits in charge don't care. Because for them, it's not about people, it's not about customers, it's about quarterly reports, not customer rapport. Okay? And I wanted to talk about this because this is the new and the latest trend. This is where everything is going. They're getting rid of people. They're getting rid of humanity. And I don't understand what are these companies going to do that make all the crap that we're all buying? If we can't find jobs, and we can't afford the rent, and we can't afford the gas to put in the car, if we can't afford food, and we're not working, who's going to buy all the shit they're making? I can't begin to tell you. I walk into any store these days, doesn't matter whether it's Walmart or Target or, Costco or wherever, and it's aisles and aisles and aisles of just junk. Candy filled with poisons, candy filled with chemicals, sodas filled with chemicals, and there's major corporations making billions of dollars off of our misery. So if they want to keep us miserable, they're going to have to keep us employed. Otherwise, it's going to have to be given to us. Is that what we're headed to? that what's around the corner? Just like some type of socialist situation where they give us, like somebody from the government comes up in like an olive drab truck and brings us our groceries, and we have to eat what they give us, and they bring us the electricity, and it's given to us because most of us can't find work. I can't find work. I've been hired by places, but they're all horrible places that I wouldn't stay at more than a couple of minutes. So what's everybody going to do if these geniuses that run these companies? What are they going to do? So if nobody has any money and nobody's working and nobody can afford to live in a house, who's going to buy all the shit that they make? Their cars, these cars, these horrible cars are sold to us and people buy them, $80,000, $100,000 vehicles, just because it plays with their nipples and shows them porno on the display screen. People will buy it. I don't know. I guess they know better than me. They know better than each of us. So let me know what your experience has been with AI. I've had some experiences with it. And in a future video, I'm going to discuss a company called 5'9". It's called Five9, and it's a leading cloud contact center provider that does both AI and live call centers on a cloud basis. But that's a whole nother story for another day. So let me know what your experience has been dealing with AI from a customer perspective, or if you've dealt with it as an employee. And I appreciate all of you listening today. And just remember, they don't want us to be human. They want to drive a wedge between us, and they're doing it with social media. We're at each other's throats. We don't have jobs. We can't pay the rent. Food is through the roof. And they want us to all just have a mouthful of crap, and we wouldn't say shit if we had a mouthful. I think it's time we started speaking up for ourselves. The art jobs are being taken by AI. AI is taking all the call center jobs. And pretty soon we're all just going to be sitting in a colony somewhere with our thumbs in our ass while the government brings us our food and our water. Is that what you want? Tell me what you want. It's time we have a revolution here and start thinking for ourselves. Start being good to each other, because all we have is each other. I'm PTPOP. I'm signing off. Have a good day.
Well, I didn't know about your deeds, but fed them all, kept them screaming in your ear all day